Hey guys, Matt Greer here. I am here to talk about homes that don't sell. So if you have a home that you recently listed that did not sell, definitely stay tuned. Also, hit that like and subscribe button, and we will talk about why your home might not have sold and what I do to get them sold, because that is what I do. So I am actually a seller's representative specialist. I received that from the National Association of Realtors. I had to get that by taking some educational courses, as well as going out and proving that I could get homes sold. I also have the real estate negotiation expert certification, and I'm pretty proud of those, amongst other designations and certifications. So there are three main reasons why a home does not sell. So we're gonna go over those real quick. First one is incorrect pricing, then ineffective marketing, and lack of communication. So incorrect pricing, I say that first because that is the number one reason. Now, I have met agents who will say, price is really the reason why a home doesn't sell. That's a gimmick, okay? We've got statistics that show that that is not true. It's actually very important. And the reason being is this isn't Facebook Marketplace, okay? Your home is being compared to other homes that are priced the same way. So, for example, if you have a $500,000 home and you're like, I want to make sure I get that 500,000, so I'm going to list it for 6, and people can negotiate down. Doesn't work like that, because what's going to happen is your home is going to be compared to other $600 homes, because when they are presented on the MLS and Zillow, what happens is people go search. So if their budget is 600,000, they're going to go and say, I want to look at the homes for $600,000, and they're going to see all those, and then they're going to see yours, which might be a great home, but it's not a $600,000 home. So those $600,000 homes are going to have things that yours does not, and so people won't see the value, so they won't come look at your home. One thing that I see happening that unfortunately I think it's unethical is an agent will come in and you'll tell them that you want to overprice your home, and they'll just say sure. And the hope is that, after a month of your home not selling, you'll reduce the price, and they do that so that, you use them and they end up getting paid, but, it takes them longer to sell your home, or they don't sell it. So the way we make sure that a home is priced correctly is we do a comparative market analysis. So if you call me to list your home, I'm going to show up with a whole bunch of other houses that sold. I'm going to have them printed out. We're going to look at them. We're going to say, okay, these homes are similar to yours. The same square footage, same number of bedrooms. If yours has a pool, we'll find one with pools. Lot sizes, we look at all that, and we compare them. Is your home the same, nicer, or maybe not quite as nice, missing a few things? That's fine. We're gonna look at that. We're gonna take that into account. We're gonna price accordingly, because when we do that, your home will be compared to other homes that are similar, and buyers will actually come look at it. Okay, if you list your home at a price and that first week you don't get any showings, you're probably overpriced. That is, I'd say, the number one reason why homes don't sell. And one thing that I see happen that is unfortunate is, take that same scenario where it's worth 500 and you list it for 600,000. What'll happen is you'll start dropping the price, and let's just say you've got a 6-month listing agreement. You'll start at that 600 and you'll be dropping it. You'll hit that 500, but you're at a high days on market, so people will see that and be like, what's wrong with it? Why hasn't it sold yet? We see that all the time. And then you'll go lower. You'll be at 490, 480, 475, and then maybe you get a buyer, but you lost money because you listed it at the wrong price and dropped it. So don't do that. List the home correctly from the get-go. And a lot of times what I see when I relist a property is that, they dropped it down below what it's actually worth. And so I'm able to relist it back up at 500 where it's worth. And since the listing is new, people actually come look at it and it gets sold. So pricing, super important. Now, I'm not saying that you can't push the market a little bit. Home prices are always going up. So if we look and we're like, hey, it's worth 500, but these comps are, 2-3 months old, maybe we can try 505, 510. It all depends on the market, and we're going to do that, and we're going to look that first week and see if we get showings. If we don't, then we need to bring it back down. So pricing, super important. If an agent comes to list your home and they aren't showing you what other homes are selling for in the area, that's a red flag. And if they tell you something like, hey, price is really the reason why a home doesn't sell, that's also a red flag, because Would you pay extra? I wouldn't. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, next is ineffective marketing. So the first thing I see with this are poor photos. Okay, you go in and you're looking at homes and they've all got these beautiful photos, and then yours has iPhone photos. And the iPhone, great camera, but not a professional photographer. Or let's just say that the photos are of a home that's cluttered. You know, you didn't clean it up. I've seen that in a listing where there's pictures of the bedroom and there is dirty clothes just laying everywhere on the floor. People see that and they won't go. So I personally always get professional photos. That's something that I pay for as part of my service. If you're not using professional photos, you're gonna have trouble. I always joke around and say that, you know, Zillow's like Tinder. People look at the profile photo and they look at the description. Very important. And the description is also very important. You know, the photos catch people's attention and then they go read about it. There's certain things that I will not put in a listing description. One of them being motivated seller. I see that a lot. The listing description starts with motivated seller and then it tells you about the home. Don't do that. Reason being, motivated seller is a term that real estate investors use when they're trying to sell a house that needs to be flipped. So people will see that and think, oh, the home's got issues. So don't put motivated seller. Okay, that's one of those things. There's a few other terms, but that's one that I've been seeing a lot lately. It also says, you know, that you're kind of willing to drop the price, do what you have to do to get the home sold, which, you know, can be good, but not if you're at market value and it's a good home with no issues. Don't put that in there, okay? The other thing too with ineffective marketing is a lot of people will just list the home. They'll put on the MLS, it'll get sent out to Zillow. Hey, that's great. A lot of times that gets the job done, but you might have to do more. I personally like to do targeted ads on Facebook, as well as I do this YouTube. I will do walkthroughs of homes that I'm selling. Sometimes I keep them up after they've sold just so I can show other sellers, but you know, when I do that, Google and YouTube will actually let me boost that video. You know, I pay for it, but it'll start showing it to people who are looking for homes in that area. It's actually incredible how targeted they can get. As well as I'll run Google ads with the same targeting, where it's like, hey, if someone's looking for a home in Tempe, I'll run ads through Google where it'll show up on like their email at the top, or it'll show up as a display if they're, you know, on a website, something like that, where, you know, if that person's looking for a home in that area, it'll show up, you know, Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert, Chandler, wherever. Google is kind of crazy what it can do, and so what I'll do is I'll put those ads because it puts it in front of people who are looking, and it really helps, especially with those people who are just passively looking. So that's one thing that I do. Next is lack of communication. Lack of communication is very important because you're going to be getting feedback, or I should say you should be. As a listing agent, I always ask buyer's agents for feedback when they see the home, because I want to know, what do they think? What does the buyer think? Is it, you know, very overpriced? Is it just right? Was the home clean? This is an issue with every kind of home, whether you're living in it or it's vacant. You know, keep the house clean. When people are coming to look, keep it clean. The other thing is it cluttered? Cluttered home will make a home seem smaller, so we don't want that. So, you know, you're getting ready to move, start packing. Take some of the extra stuff, put it in boxes, put it in the garage. That way when people come in, they see the home, it feels more spacious. That's very important. And that's feedback we'll be getting, and you want that communication between you and the agent. If you feel like you got left in the dark, that could be an issue because your agent might have been receiving very valuable communication. I know when I receive it, I share it with my seller. The other thing that we'll get is, you know, curb appeal. This kind of goes into ineffective marketing as well as lack of communication. If home doesn't have curb appeal, I'm going to hear it. For example, if the buyer pulls up, their first impression is going to be when they get out of the car and they look. If your yard is full of weeds, that will be an issue. If the grass is overgrown, I've been in homes with all this stuff, and the buyers see that, immediately turns them off. Also, when they first open the door, what do they see? Do they see a mess? Is it inviting? First impressions are important, and curb appeal is always that first impression. So you want to make sure that that is good. You know, depending on the season, I've had some people who, go ahead and plant some flowers, just some annuals that will just make it look good while it's being sold. Great thing to do. Highly recommend it. And you might have to do a little bit of touch up. Like I've had people who've gone and just repainted the patio because the paint was chipping. Really good. Okay. That goes into that ineffective marketing, and we're going to be getting communication about that. So you want to be hearing all of that. So that's what I do when I relist a home. I really look into it. I look at the pricing because that's the first thing I always check. I see where should it be. I share that information with you. I look at the marketing because obviously whatever was done the first time did not work, and do something different. Make sure that it gets out to more people. And I make sure I communicate. I give weekly updates to all my sellers. So if you have a home that you tried listing and it did not sell and you want to sell it and you're out here in the East Valley, as well as the West Valley, I've been going out there more recently because that area is growing like crazy right now. But East Valley, give me a call. My number will be in the description. You can also send me an email. I'm happy to help. We'll go over all these things and we'll get your home sold. That's what I do. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'll be back in more model homes. I should be going to some tomorrow. Tomorrow or the next day. We're gonna see. I've got a few things that I've got to do. But we're gonna be back in there, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.